How the heck can you fold a phone that its screen is made of glass without breaking it? When I first heard about folding glass, I thought of every possible scenario, and every single time I hear glass shattering in my head. But what if you could fold it somehow, without letting that happen? Wouldn't that be cool? But why do we want to bend glass this bad? And that have a simple, easy answer. Because glass, my dear friend, is scratch resistant, and if cooked well, you can drop it and get away with no crack at all. For example, Gorilla Glass, it became the most used glass in high-end phones, that is used in 7 billion devices today, that we use a lot for touching and swiping through our favorite cat videos. But with all of that use every single day, through an entire year or so, your phone is barely left with some tiny scratches that's hard to see even if you try to look closely, thanks to its scratch resistance and drop resistance capability. But if this example were to be given to a plastic screen, well, I wouldn't think it will pass a month without some noticeable scratches at all, because of how plastic is. That's why folding phone companies, which only few of them exist right now, are seeking an alternative approach. And here will glass fit in, just like it did with the old Gen phones. That's what we are calling them right now, huh? But wait a second, that still doesn't answer how they will be able to bend glass. Well, here is the thing about glass. Glass is glass, and glass can break, yeah. But seriously, if we want to bend glass, then we need to explore a bit its properties and dive into its molecular level. But first, let's make a comparison between glass and plastic, shall we? Now, if we want to bend plastic, you would normally just fold it and it will fold. But now you've noticed the crease that appeared at the center of the fold, and the shape of that piece may have changed a bit. And if made rigid, it might break. But for most flexible plastic, it's okay, cause plastic, or what they call polymer, its molecules can rearrange themselves more easily in response to stress. But in a glass scenario, I wouldn't tell you to go and try to bend it and cause a pool of blood. But in order to bend glass, you might want to get as thin as possible. That's why Corning, which is the company behind Gorilla Glass, is working on an ultra-thin bendable glass that's 0.1 mm thick, that's just as thin as the human hair, and can bend to a 5 mm radius. What's cool about this is that the glass has a more rigid structure, so the response of the glass is going to be more elastic, which means the structure of the glass will be able to recover after the deformation without leaving a trace. Isn't that cool? But wait a second, something is off here. If all what you say is true, then why we haven't seen a folding glass screen yet? Well, for two obvious reasons. One is, if 0.1 mm thick can only get you to 5 mm radius, then how thin do we need to get to be able to fold it shut like polymer? 2. The thinner you get, the fragile glass becomes. John Bain, who is the vice president at Corning Gorilla Glass, said, "The technical challenge is, can you keep those tight 3 to 5 mm bend radius and also increase the damage resistance of the glass? That's the trajectory we are on." So there is a catch here, but Samsung is rumored to use glass instead of plastic in its upcoming vertical folding phone, the Z Flip. But we shall see in the next couple of days on Samsung Unpacked keynote. Till then, make sure you are subscribed for more tech news.